Hi everyone and welcome to the Wiltshire Caravans handover video for this 2024 Buccaneer Bermuda. Although this is a video of the 2024 model, the range hasn't changed really that much, so it will work for any of the other years so far. I'm going to start round the back, so if you'd like to follow me, I've got a different camera lady on today. We've got Sian with me today. She's a bit shy, so she probably won't say a great deal, and it's a bit tight round here, but basically just to show you, we've got a Highline brake light with the light clusters that we have. So these are your indicators, brake lights, reverse lights, fog lights even, but as this is a self-leveling model, nowhere to do any corner steadies, which is nice. So here we've got the first part we get to is, I can't see them. Let's bear with me a second. There they are. Right, so they're your waste outlets. They clip down, a little bit of pipe goes in there. That gets rid of your grey waste, so your shower and your two sinks, so the kitchen and the bathroom sink. Okay, the important job now. So, toilet cassette. So you'll know when it needs emptying, because there's a little light that comes on in the bathroom next to where you flush, and it will light up and you will need to empty it. You will have maybe a wee left in it, depending on how much you wee. I wouldn't take the chance, just go and empty it, or do what we did just before wine o'clock. I'll always go and empty it. So lift that handle there and slide it straight out. It's worth noting at this point that the flap has to be closed on the toilet for that to work, otherwise you'll be trying to put it out and you may damage something. But take this to the receptacle area, or to the area where you're going to empty it. You can use it like a trolley dolly, so carry along, wheel it along. Let's put those in my pocket. But when you get to where you're going, that funnel goes forward, the cap comes off. Put that somewhere safe. You do not want that falling down the hole where you're about to pour this stuff, because if you want to go and get it, it's entirely up to you, but you will come out like a blue-brown smurf. It wouldn't be particularly pleasant. Anyway, so you've taken the lid off, over the receptacle, press that top button there. That will release any gas or air pressure to help the flavour flood out. You will want to put that back on, because to rinse out, slide that back, open the slider. There's always a hose pipe around. Rinse, 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 swirl, swirl, swirl. Close the flap. Do that. Rinse it around. Take that off. Repeat the process. Okay. You will want to then put either blue fluid or green fluid, whatever you use. The cap, handily, has measurements on. So look on the bottle that you're using and see how much you need to put in. Fill it to that point, and then you can either put it back straight into there, or you can put it in there. It makes no difference. Some people dilute. I was always going to dilute it fairly quickly because I only have a weed in it, so that would do that. Then that just slides back in. That will click up and down, and then you're secure. Shut that, then lock it, because if someone else has lost their lid, they might need one. Don't let them get yours. You'll notice there's no flush reservoir. That's because on this particular model, the flush comes direct from the water supply. Okay. Anyway, moving down, just vents for the fridge and the freezer. Alloy wheels, they're torqued up. The wheel nuts are torqued up to 130 Newton meters. Next to the battery box. Unsurprisingly, here we find a battery. Now these are the AGM batteries. With Buccaneers, they do supply them. AGM battery, plenty of life cycles within it. You've also got your electric hookup in here. Often, if you've got a motor mover fitted, the motor mover isolator will be in there. But again, the motor mover is a completely different video, and I'll show you that. If you've got a motor mover, I will forward that video on as well. Okay, a bit further on, outdoor shower. This outdoor shower has cold water only, so I would suggest dogs or boots. unless you like cold water and showering on the non-awning side. Well, that's up to you. Next, again, following on from that, that's your water inlet. Now if you come round with me, I'll show you how to open the main gas locker to start with. So literally, just take that. I always take the key out because it makes it easier to press the button. Press the button, that lifts up. Very nice. Now your water pump is here. And very simply, so you've got, this is the bit that plugs into the van, this bit goes into your aqua roll, okay? So this bit just pushes in there, click that down, that's now held in place. With your aqua roll there, you've got ready to fill with water. It has got an internal tank, which I'll show you a bit later on in the video. Whether you use it or not, it's entirely up to you, you don't have to. But there is a little clip on this on the side. So if you're using an aqua roll, you're not on a service pitch, clip that in while you go and collect your water, so you don't, well, basically, so you don't drop this bit into any dirt. Very simple. Only other thing on this side, you've got a top level, service light we call it. I still call it an awning light, but it's on the wrong side. So that's your service light, so you can change your water at night. This bit here, that's simply the exhaust for the Alder heating system if you're using gas. Okay. Right. So whilst we're in the gas locker, it hasn't got any pigtails on it at the moment because this is our model, our demo model. You can have two gas pipes coming out. We will fit one. If you want another one, you can purchase that. That's not a problem. Also in here, we've got 25-meter electric cable. We do have a mains water filler, so you can literally go direct from the mains into the caravan. It's not my favourite idea because it runs on tap pressure rather than on the water pump. Makes me a little bit nervous because tap pressure is so variable on the on sites. But it's a conversation for a different day. Also in here, got two Alco wheel locks which come with this this caravan. You've also got your Chris number there. There's other places where the Chris number is, but that's just basically the room for two gas bottles. Some people have said, well, it's a lot shallower than they used to be. It is, but a lot of people used to put far too much stuff in their gas locker to make them very nose heavy. And as we know, the Buccaneers are quite nose heavy anyway. Anyway, moving on. It's running on the Alco chassis, so it's got the Alco ATC. ATC is Alco Trailer Control. There's a sensor underneath the chassis that if the caravan does start to move side to side a little bit or wiggle a little bit, it dabs the brakes on just to steady everything. Hopefully you'll only notice it when you go over a speed hump. Any other time you don't really notice it, but it will feel heavy for a couple of seconds after the speed hump because basically it's showing that the system is working, which is nice. Hitching up, we've got a separate video for, but chances are if you're buying a Buccaneer Bermuda, it's probably not your first caravan, but who knows? If it is, you'll get that video too. Right, coming down to the near side, first thing we get to, outside gas barbecue point. It has the little Gemini clip in there as well. All you need is a couple of meters of pipe, then that can go through to your gas barbecue. I cannot stress enough how not to use the barbecue. Do not use a gas barbecue in your awning, basically, because your caravan will turn into a very large dog and go woof. Not the best idea. Okay, coming on a bit further with this, is just an outside access locker. Goes through to, I say through to, it's a very small locker. What it has got is a TV aerial and a 230-volt socket. So if you have got an awning, you can run an extension lead out there and the TV point out there, so you can watch TV in your aerial. If you can watch it in your in the awning. Other thing here, right, important information on here. So this is the weight plate. So the weight plate on this one shows us it's got your Chris number, well, this particular Chris number, MIRO, massing running order, of 1801. So emptied, but with one gas bottle, this caravan will weigh 1800 kilograms. It's heavy. Maximum plated weight on this one is 2000, so 2 tons. So it has got the weight plate upgrade on it. It's also said the tyre size of tyre pressures. Tyre pressures on these are 48 psi, which is, you know, relatively high, and the wheel bolt torque is 130. The spare wheel, the steel wheel underneath, the torque is 102 Newton meters. Okay, only one more thing outside. I'm not even going to show you it because that there is an access locker to under the bed. That's all that is. All right, we're going to have a quick look inside, quick walk around, and then show you the things you need to see. So we are lit up like a Christmas tree. May not show it in this light, but it's nice and sunny out. If this was, if it's dark, this would be lit up like Blackpool illuminations. I will show you what it's like without it. It won't make a lot of difference in this particular light, but there you go. That's it without the lights. Well, without some of the lights. I'll put them all back on. Actually, if we come over here, Sean, I'll go through the start-up controls just to go through. So when you come in, you've reversed perfectly onto your pitch, whether you're using your motor movers or not. You've plugged your electric in and you want to get the mains power on. This is your mains power. That's your main switch. Okay. If you turn that on and nothing happens, it might be a question of, sorry about ducking under you like that, but it might be to do with your breaker switches. Or your fuses. Now the breaker switches, everything's labelled, you can't really go wrong. There is a nice little feature on here. Some people say they've got an issue with maybe one part of their caravan. It's always helpful to press test up here. If you press test and that goes down, it means there is power into the caravan, and then just reset it. So it's just if you're doing a process of elimination. We will be going back under there in a little while, but just for now, go back to the panels. So mains power. These are your outside lights. So you've got gas locker light, and your service light is that one. That's your awning light. Okay. There's your little spots coming out on there, and then the remainder of the surrounds in the lounge area on that one. You've got lots of individual lights. They've all got their own little individual switches. You've got light switches everywhere. For example, you've got a light switch here for your main kitchen light. You've also got these lights. Now you think, well, that didn't do anything. Well, that's your under counter lighting, and there's your fally over drunk light down there. I mean, so you don't fally over drunk. It's probably more of a point. Right, back to here. Okay, so water. This is all part of the water system. So you've got your aqua roll in, and if you want to fill up the internal tank, which is under the bed, I'm more than happy to show you how to do that. To fill up the tank, make sure the tap's closed in there. Again, I'll show you that in a moment. But then fill up from an external point. So from there, your water has been pumped from your aqua roll into your internal tank. Now it can't overflow. Well, it can overflow, but it's not going to leak in here. If it does overflow, it will go straight outside. Then to use the internal tank, strange enough, press internal. However, you need to turn the water power on. There's no water in there, which is why nothing's come on. If you just want to use your aqua roll, central position, again, turn it on. A light will come on when everything's active and working, but because we've got no water in this particular model, it's not showing. So, very much in summary, if you're just using an aqua roll, leave it in the central position. If you want to use your internal tank, you have to fill it up from an external source and then use your internal tank. Dead simple. And that's the water pump power. Nice and simple. This display here, if you press it, it lights up. 13.5 volts available to us. Well, not surprised, we are plugged in and we've got a dirty great big battery on us. And 0% in the water tank. So that percentage is how much water we have in the internal tank. None. All with me so far? Excellent. I should move on. This is the Alder heating panel. It's got the Alder Compact 3030 system, so the latest system. First, so that's your power on. First screen you get to will show you the indoor temperature in here at the moment, currently 26, and it feels like it. To change that temperature, press on that bit, and it's literally, use it as a thermostat. Up and down, as simple as you like. Okay, set it to whatever you like, then keep it there. Press back. Energy, what fuel are we going to use? Well, the options are, we've got on electricity, we have 0 kilowatt, i.e. off. 1 kilowatt will take a decade to warm this thing up using 1 kilowatt. It's a very big caravan. Bear in mind it's got underfloor heating as well. 2 kilowatts, that's more like it, that'll get the job done. And bear in mind, this is just the amount of power we're using on the heating and hot water system. 2 kilowatts is coming up towards 9 amps. So if you're only on a 10 amp site, and then you turn the kettle on and your microwave on, bang, off it goes. It's not going to work. So I would strongly suggest if you're on a 10 amp site, heat everything up nice and quickly on 2 kilowatts and just drop it down to 1 kilowatt, because that will maintain the temperature. It will just take a long time to heat it up in the first place. You can, of course, if you wish to do so, also use gas or just gas. Entirely up to you how you want to use it. However, if you're on a site that you've paid for the electricity on the pitch, why not just use the electricity? Clear as mud? Excellent. I do have a video from Alder themselves that explains this system really, really well. I will forward the link to anyone who's having one of these caravans. We send the video links to. There's another page on it. If you see, it says 1 of 2. So press on that, and it then comes up with a second page. You've got priority, so we've set it to electricity. So initially, the system will always try to work on electricity. Load monitor off at the moment. That's because we are basically hooked into the mains where we have enough power. If you can set the load monitor to 5 amps, to whatever you've got available to you. Personally, I've never used that. I've just found out what there is, and then I use what I need to with that in mind. Also, we have a high altitude mode. So if you're going to take this thing up the Alps, you can use a high altitude mode, anything above 1,000 meters. If you are going to be doing that, please send us a picture and a video, because I don't know anyone who's done that yet. Anyway, I pressed the back button next to hot water. Bear in mind we've got no water in here. It says on, off, but I'm going to leave it off. Off, on, or boost. So off, no hot water. On, hot water. Bear in mind there's no temperature control on the water except on the tap, on the mixer taps. So be very aware. Don't treat it like at home when you're sort of going to do the washing up. So you turn the hot water on and stick your hand up under it until it gets warm. This is instantly hot. So be very, very aware, especially with kids around, that they don't do that. So on, boost. If you press boost for 30 minutes, it will take all the power for the Alder system. So the heating will go off and all the power will go into heating up water. Excuse me. Now I would suggest that that's probably only going to use that when you have 2 or 3 or 4 possible people going in for showers in rapid succession. However, I've never used it. I'm sure people have, but that's up to them. I would say when you've got water in the caravan, just leave it on. That will give you enough hot water 90% of the time. Moving swiftly on, press menu and you get to, surprisingly, a menu. So you have a night mode and a day mode. So if I press on night mode, you can set time and end. Oh, I didn't mean to actually do it. A start time and an end time where you can have a different temperature. You can set it for whatever day you like. So if I just wanted Wednesday indoor temperature to be 15 degrees, and I've set that. So I've now set one evening to do it. But you see in the front page that now it's a moon, crescent moon there, which basically saying I've got a night mode on. Press on that to see what it is, and if you want, you can just turn it off. All turned off. Very simple. You've also got the same for day mode. Bear in mind, all I do at night is go like that. I don't know if that's, I don't make it complicated, but it's entirely up to you. But there are lots of things you can do. Pump auto, leave that. Delayed start, I wouldn't do that if I were you. Well, you can if you want. It's not going to change much. The display is the only thing you might want to change probably. So the brightness, low brightness. You can also go dark screen. So as soon as I turn this off, the screen's darker. So there's a few things you can do on it. This is why we send you the other video that Alda send, that Alda have done, and a book. But for a very simple basic setup, leave it where it is, because now if you turn it off, turn everything off, drive 200 miles, turn it back on, whatever you had on the setting before will be the setting you're on now. Clear as mud?
Yep.
Right, one other thing, there's a little 3-prong thing up this. This is all part of the alarm system. I didn't actually bring the alarm fob with me, but every now and then that will flash red once, absolutely fine. If it starts flashing red 3 times quite rapidly, it just means it wants resetting, and you put the little fob into there to reset it for a couple of seconds. I didn't bring the whole set of keys with me, so I can't demonstrate that, but I will show anyone when we do the handovers how that works. I've already mentioned water. The most important thing about water, specifically coming up to winter time, we've had a couple of frosts lately, so I want to show you about draining down. I have done a winterization video, which I would say it's really worth a watch, but I would say that, wouldn't I? So you have here, underneath the front benches, or the L-shaped seating, don't know if you're going to be able to see from that angle or not, we have a yellow tap. That yellow tap, can you see it there? Yeah, yellow tap. In that position, that basically means all the water has been let out of this caravan. To close it, make sure it's horizontal, and when it's horizontal, we could now put the water pump in and literally start filling up with water. Okay. Like I say, I will open it again. There's no water in here, and I know that, but it's good practice to do that. Some people say, do I need to do that before winter? Absolutely yes. Some people say, do I need to do it every trip? To be fair, yeah, I would. Although yes, some people say, well, it's a waste of water. Yes, it is, but if it's also, if your boiler's full, it's 10 kilograms extra weight you're hauling around. So front wise, we've seen pretty much everything there. Oh, just to show you that the bed opens up like that. If you're going to use the bed, there are some cushions under there, or just use the cushions around. It's a really nice simple way of using it, but most people buy these as a 2-berth. I don't blame them. There will be a 32-inch TV there, and for your entertainment system, it's not in here, but just an ordinary radio, no, it's not a DAB radio, is it? A radio which can connect to Bluetooth, so you can do that. Here's your solar charge point, so it has solar panels on, and this aerial here, to get a TV signal, undo the nut, lift that up, point it in the same direction as everyone else has got theirs. I do know some people have got on their phones, they've got the apps to find best signal, and then just tighten it up when it's all ready waiting to go. Well, just to show you that there, charging points, a couple of USBs in there. There are a few other USBs around in here, but just show you other things, general things. Lots of cupboard space, literally just cupboard space. It's all nice in there. Dometic fridge, fridge, good size fridge and freezer. Suppose I better show you how to use it then. You can do that as well if you want. For the lefties amongst us. Left-handed, not socialists or anything like that. Anyway, Right, I'll turn it off. To turn your fridge freezer on, Dometic there, that's the power button. Literally hold it down. That will come up. So you've got various modes you can have. Right, the battery, that is basically to run from the car. So I'm going to turn that. I'm going to let it beep because that'll annoy everyone else as well as me. So with the battery, so if you've got a 13 pin or 2 7s and you want to maintain the temperature of a fridge on a journey, set it to that battery so it will continue to stay that cool. It won't cool it down, so there's no point if you're doing it from a standing start, so to speak. The fridge must be cold. Right. Okay, so next mode goes over to gas. Well, we've got no gas connected, as we know. It's trying to, but you can run it on gas. Can run on electric. Good idea. But if you go into auto mode, at this point, if you're travelling, you've been away, you've got stuff in the fridge, and you're coming home, put it onto auto, then it will automatically go onto the battery. Clear as mud. Excellent. And underneath there, you've got a little thermometer just to change the temperature. I shall turn off. There. Microwave does microwavey things. Very simple. Cooker does cooker things. You've got the 1 electric hob, 3 gas burners, separate oven and grill, light for the oven. There's your sparkers. Please, please, please do not shut lid while the burner is alight. I don't think anyone would, but just in case. And oh, look at the Buccaneer. Reference to Larry Grayson for anyone old enough to know who that was. You're probably going. I say the rest of it is just cupboard space in here, and lots of it. You have got a standalone table in there. Shower, yeah, it's got one. Nice size, lovely shower. The bathroom, oh, I'll tell you what, I'll let you go in there. Do you want me to do this because you might not, because your reflection? Go on, I dare you to look in the mirror. Go on, dare you? Go on, put your head in there. Go on. Anyway, so a nice bathroom, fully functional. That towel rail is a heated towel rail through the Alder system, so be aware that does get very hot, so be careful you don't burn. The reservoir for the Alder system, so the glycol and water mix is in here. These cupboards the lights do come on automatically. As long as you can see, you'll see a minimum and maximum. As long as it's above the minimum, or on the minimum even, that is absolutely fine. The only other thing really is to show you is the onboard water tank, which is under the bed, along with all the cushions and all other sorts of bits and bobs. So it's a very straightforward water tank. It's a tank that holds water. You've got a tap, an old-fashioned tap saying open, so all the water's poured out, or just turn it round, closed, to let water come in. Okay, I'll put it open again just to make sure there's nothing in there. If the pressure's not quite what you want it to be, or if it's pulsing a little bit, this white pressure switch here, if you just go quarter turns on there to adjust it either way, that's the adjustment part of it. This is the overflow part, so if you do have too much water in it, it will just overflow straight outside on to the floor. But really, other than to say blinds, all the blinds are, we've got blackout blinds and fly screens. All of the windows have got those. Like I say, I'll show anyone who needs to see how to use the sunroofs on completion. Oh, Omnivent. Haven't shown anyone the Omnivent. Okay, so this, with the Omnivent, has a circular motion where you just open the vent and then press this button. Then be patient, it will work. Don't just go prod, 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 because it won't like that. So you've got, it works as an extractor. I do have a joke about an extractor fan, but I don't think anyone wants to hear it. And if I've just pressed it correctly, yeah, it'll come back and that will bring air in. It's not quite air conditioning, but it does bring some nice cool air in to stand underneath. As you can tell, it is quite loud. But always remember to shut your vents, especially when traveling. Pretty much that's it, I think. Any questions about this or any other caravans, do give us a call on 01373 752 100 and it's option 1 for sales. Email sales@wiltshirecaravans.co.uk. I'll try that again, sales@wiltshirecaravans.co.uk. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, I think that's all of them. I don't think there's anything else we're on. But we do like it when people come and visit us. We're on the West Wilts Trade Estate, 36 Headquarters Road. Postcode is BA134JR. Yeah, get in touch. Any questions, please let us know. Thank you much for your time. If you do like these videos, please like and subscribe. The more subscribers and likes we get, the better. Okay, thanks for your time. Cheers for now. Bye-bye.